What's the big news around the NFL? Shedeur and the Titans canceling their workout? That feels like that's the big news. A couple retirements. What is the big NFL news of the day here, Rap Sheet?
It kind of feels like the Shedeur thing, right? So obviously on Friday, Colorado had its showcase, not a pro day, but a showcase, which
It was awesome, I think.
it was pretty awesome. I would agree with that.
Dion
It was
yelling
Travis
at
Hunt.
scouts. Dion yelling at scouts, telling them, "Hey, you don't tell my guys how to run 40s." Okay, you just got here. Get the hell out of the way. I think Shedeur did a great job. I think Travis ran some great routes with no gloves on his hands. I feel like it was a win for everybody at this showcase. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, well, there's a lot on Travis Hunter, and I want to get to that in a second because him deciding to run routes but not doing DB drills is interesting, but hold that for 1 second. The Shedeur Sanders look good, and if you're someone who wants to draft him at 2 or 3 or early, you saw enough where you're like, all right, like obviously the talent is there. The arm strength is, I don't know who said he couldn't throw deep. They were all angry about somebody saying that. I've not yet found the culprit of such accusations, but he has proved that that is not the case. And then, you sort of get word that the Titans mutually canceled a visit with Shedeur, which I would say to me makes sense because it looks like the Titans are going in one direction. They haven't officially confirmed or announced, but it looks like they're going in one direction, which would be to select Cam Ward at number 1. And then if that's the case, then I'm not sure what the point of a Shedeur workout anyway is, especially when it worked out for the whole world like 3 days before. So that makes sense. But in the context of like giving us an idea for what the Titans want to do, I think that's why it kind of stood out to everyone as maybe the biggest news of this weekend.
Cam Ward going number 1 to the Tennessee Titans, seemingly signed, sealed, delivered. Big convo around NFL players was Shedeur patting the ball. Patting the ball. Obviously, that is fun on the internet, and if you follow the internet, a lot of things are going to become storylines. Darius Slayton in there, Mike A in there, numerous others chit-chatting about Shedeur, and that is kind of what Shedeur is. He is a lightning rod. Anything he does, people are going to talk about. He actually said that in the press conference. He goes, anywhere I go, there's a spotlight. I've been kind of followed through it all. And Andre Cisco says, boy, better stop patting that ball. We breaking on it.
Come on.
And I like the way he types out his words. I appreciate that. Then Darius Slayton of the Giants, potential teammate here of Shedeur. I promise he can pat the ball and be just fine. He throws me 15, 20 balls a game. There's going to be no problem if he's patting it before it leaves his hand. But Shedeur even mentioned it. Like everything he does gets followed. Everything he does get clicks. I mean, he's got people talking about his pro day and whether or not he's patting the ball. I just saw a video of Drake May working out. I think he patted the ball a couple times. I think Aaron even every once in a while will do that, but is he doing it as much as Shedeur is doing it? This is like Shedeur Sanders football. Teams know that they're signing up for a lot of attention. Teams know they're signing up for, all eyes on their brand. What do you think happens with Shedeur after the pro day? And what do you think I don't want to say kind of earned after his pro day, or what is the convo about him? I thought he looked good. While I was watching the pro day, I actually thought to myself, they say open competition at quarterback here in Indianapolis. Why don't we, I like the way he looked at the pro day. But what is the kind of the convo now with him?
Well, a couple of things. I would agree with what Shedeur said afterward, and he's talked about this publicly before. Like, he is in the spotlight, everything he does, no matter what, more than any other draft prospect. It's not like unprecedented. There's a couple of these draft prospects every year, but it does seem because of his last name that it's ramped up a little bit. So I want to tell you guys a quick Shedeur Sanders story, and I mentioned this during our Combine coverage on NFL Network. So the lead up to the Combine, I was trying to figure out what Shedeur was going to do at the Combine. Was he going to throw there, or was he going to wait for his pro day? So I contact someone who kind of works with the Sanders family, and I say, who's the point man? Like, he doesn't have an agent. Who's kind of the person that media talks to so I could figure out if he's throwing? And the response I get is, Coach will contact you directly. And I'm like, Coach? Okay, well, there's not that many coaches. I'm like, would probably be Dahn, but that's kind of strange, but okay. 5 minutes later, I get a FaceTime from a number I don't recognize. I answer it, obviously, Deion Sanders, which was fun because I had my kids in the car and they got a big kick out of Deion Sanders FaceTiming.
Dan's famous. He's got Coach Prime calling.
Right.
What about?
By the way, Max then told people at school, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, Max." Pretty funny. But anyway, so he's like, what do you? like, what's going on, Rap? What do you need? And I'm like, I want to know what Shedeur's doing. He goes, hold on 1 second. Gives the phone to Shedeur, and he goes, talk to Rap Sheet. And so we talked, told me what he was doing, told me why, explained the plan, and talked about a couple other things that he was focusing on the next couple weeks. Hands the phone back to his dad, and he was like, you good? I was like, I'm good. And it was just an unbelievably mature, level-headed, grounded way of handling what could have been a huge issue, but like Dahn wanted to make sure that Shedeur handled it himself. And I was like, this is not normal. And so like whatever comes at him, like this is someone who really is trained to handle all of it. And I was pretty impressed by that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people bringing up, well, how many wins did they have in Colorado and yada, yada, yada. And it's like they literally rebuilt a program over there. Like yeah. And now granted, did they have a reality TV show happening at the same time via social media? Yes. Did they have a documentary happening at the same time? Yes. Coach Prime, is he one of one? Yes. There's like a lot of outliers. Travis Hunter, Heisman winner, obviously might be the number 2 overall pick, which is what everybody's saying. It's like that certainly helps. But they had to rebuild an entire program. His toughness obviously shined physically and mentally. It's just whether or not Shedeur is the guy for your team, I guess comes down to a couple people enjoying his personality. Is that kind of what it is now? Like, because that was like a little bit of a chat, or what do you think it is at this point? And it might have been Orlovsky that they were getting mad about, saying, because Orlovsky said he wanted to see him step on one.
Of course.
That's what he wanted. He said he wanted to see the ball come out of Shedeur's. Remember?
Is that what it
he
was?
said that on our show?
Yeah,
he did.
Wants to see
pop out of his hands. He said he wants to see the ball come out of his hands, and he wants to see him like step on one, really drive one, like Orlovsky said that. So I don't think he was saying he didn't believe it. I think he was just saying 55% of Shedeur's passes in college were within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. He wanted to see him open it because Dan Orlovsky's super, analyst, super analyst.
Sure.
So, like, I think that's what Orlovsky said, but I do appreciate if they got pissed off about it. Could have been others. But, like, is that what it is? Is it like, are you ready for, like, kind of everything else that comes with it that teams are trying to figure out? Or is it whether or not teams are trying to figure out they want a quarterback early still?
Well, there are teams that need a quarterback no matter what. Like, the Browns need another one from somewhere. The Giants don't need another one because they signed Russell Wilson, but they don't have a quarterback of the future. They could definitely have one. There's plenty of others. It's really just, is it worth the selection, right? Or like, if you take Shedeur Sanders and let's say you think he's a mid-first round pick. Let's just say, pick out a random evaluation. Let's say you think that. But you take him at 2 or 3 or 6 or wherever the Saints pick or whatever it is. Like, is that a reach? Or is that worth it? And are you passing on a generational talent like, let's just say, Travis Hunter? I mean, these are the conversations about the value and what it's worth. I don't think it's like as far as the personality goes, there's a lot that goes into drafting a quarterback. And I think going into my 13th year doing it. And I really have no idea what differentiates a great quarterback prospect who's going to succeed and one who does not.
Oh, man.
Like, it's been, and obviously, like, teams.
There's a lot of busts, brother. There's a lot of busts.
yeah.
Nobody talks
And they all
about
look
it.
the same
There's a
coming
lot
out.
of busts. Yeah, agreed. You got to figure out the mental makeup. That's why you would think a guy who's been a professional since he was a child would be good.